Hello everyone, my name is Jemima Morrish and I am a junior KDB developer at SRC UK. And today I'm going to talk about how to make your dashboards better, both experience-wise for the user and interface-wise. So first of all, what is KX Dashboards? So KX Dashboards is a powerful data visualization tool that allows non-technical and technical users to query and present real-time data insights. And for those of you who are developers, today I want you to take away some of the things I say. Next time you build a dashboard, think about this. You know, some of the things I say should be habits. You should think about tooltips all the time. And for those who aren't developers, I hope you can get an insight to what you can do with KX Dashboards. So, firstly, layout. I have also put simplicity there. Why? Because layouts should be simple. Dashboards should be simple. So use a grid system for your layouts. And what I mean by a grid system is keep the widgets spaced equally. Don't show too much information. Only show information that's relative. Think of a car dashboard that only shows relevant information. It doesn't show who the previous driver was. Only show relevant information. Avoid clutter. So, well, that's another thing. If you show too much information, it's going to just clutter the dashboard and it's going to be a mess. And all of this results in minimalizing clicks. So if the user is having to click on a lot of buttons, accordions to expand, this isn't good. We want to make the user's life as simple as possible. Ours may be difficult, yes, but we want to make the user's life simple. So here is just an example of a dashboard. So I just want to talk through the logic I thought behind this. So I've basically spelled out to the user how to use it. So first of all, filter the dashboard. That's the first thing I want them to do. That's why it's at the top. Then resulting from that filtering is the data grid. So basically the functionality of this dashboard is when they click on the row, the widgets at the bottom will populate. And this basically spelled out how to use the dashboard without saying, first filter, then click on a row, and then that's it. This is just another example of another dashboard using an overlay panel. I use it a lot. So basically what I wanted to do is show the map and not hinder it not being full screen. And I thought, okay, well, I can add an overlay panel to show the information. And KX Dashboards allows you to do this. The small video on the left-hand side is just a quick demo on what you have to do regarding adding widgets to your dashboard. It's just a simple drag and drop feature. That's it. So now consistency and usability. Color schemes. Yes, I have made my own color scheme for this presentation. I can quickly explain why I chose these colors. So the dark blue and the orange were my first colors of thought. I mean, I just like these colors. They go very well together. The black and the white. So this, I use these for light mode and dark mode. And that's another thing. Give your users the opportunity to choose either light mode or dark mode. I'm an avid dark mode user, but there may be some light mode users out there. And so the orange and the reds I thought would be good for graphs. And not only that, they go with the dark blue that I like. But the main thing is keep your color scheme consistent. You know, you don't want a dashboard that all of a sudden is yellow. I don't know, I'm trying to think of some colors now. You know, just keep it consistent. Keep it in keeping. And on the bottom left, well, right, is just a quick demo on how easy it is to add your color scheme to a pie chart, for example. So all you have to do, if you have the hex code colors, just put them in, and literally that's it. So the same thing goes to buttons. So there's so many times where I think, oh, I wish I could just do all the CSS I want to this button, right? But the main thing is make sure all your buttons look the same. I will go on to advanced CSS in a minute, but firstly, I just want to talk about why buttons should be consistent. So I use the KX default buttons all the time. I like them. They look professional. They're in keeping with my dashboards. But I wanted to show you what you can do with advanced CSS. So KX Dashboards has this great thing called an element selector. right? So if I want to add my own CSS to a widget, I click on the Advanced CSS section in the Style section, and something pops up called an element selector. It looks like this. And basically what this does, it picks up the data widget's ID, right? So this is its CSS class. So all I have to do is add my CSS. So for example, for button 1, this is the CSS, background dark blue, color white smoke, as simple as that. I recommend, for example, button 3, which you might see on the video, don't do this to all your buttons. I just wanted to show what you can do with CSS. So this, for those developers out there, this to me should be a habit. Use clear labeling. So first of all, regarding data grids, take away the underscores in the columns. Don't be lazy, don't be lazy. Yes, it makes life more difficult for us, but we gotta do it, right? And KX Dashboards allows you to do this. You can, there's a part in the style section where you can change the display name. So even if there's a column name that you might understand, but the user might not, change it, make it as clear as possible. Text align the columns. Yes, I know when you execute the data source, some of the columns might be to the left, some might be in the center. Text align them. Once again, more work for us, but better for the user. Add tooltips. This, to me, is one of the most important things. So on this slide, I've added 2 different types of tooltips. So the one at the top, that's a tooltip to give more information. So let's say there's loads of aircrafts on a map, right? And I want to quickly see what aircraft it is I'm hovering over. This tooltip is just to give more flight information and just to confirm it's this aircraft. For this tooltip, at the bottom here, this is more of an instruction. So a user, I mean, I know it might be pointing out the obvious, but sometimes that's the best thing to do. So a user might think, oh, well, there's a data grid. I mean, what do I do? When you hover over it, click on row to show flight information. Then, you confirm it adds extra context. And this is all easy to do. Once again, I've added a small demo. So when you add a tooltip, you can even add images like I did on the top one. And you can customize it what you like. So fluidity in the dashboards. Yes, okay, static dashboards, they're okay, but you can bring them to life. And so I know I mentioned something earlier where you should only show relevant information. And there may be times where you want to show something only if a user wants to see it, right? So you want it hidden most of the time. So here I added a button called Show Gauges. And basically, I only wanted to show the gauges if a user clicked this. So what I did is I added an overlay panel to the map and added an accordion on this. An accordion, why an accordion? An accordion expands, right? And it's sort of like a pop-up, but it's not a pop-up. So basically, I added an accordion, and on the expanded part of the accordion, I added a view state. And this view state is connected to the button. So when a button is clicked, expand. It's as simple as that. And you don't have to do this just with buttons. It could be clicking on a row. It could be clicking on an aircraft, on a point layer, anything. And this just adds fluidity. It doesn't clutter the dashboard. And I just think it looks nice. So the next thing I hope you can see is 3D chart rotation. I know it's a tiny little detail, but I don't know, well, whoever uses 3D charts, they don't rotate. The user has to rotate them. So the other week, I was playing around with a 3D chart. I do have a life, by the way. And I thought, wouldn't this be so cool if this would just rotate automatically? And why is this? I think it looks professional. It's eye-catching, and it just adds that, life to the dashboard. So how did I do this? So I added a data source, and I added a function which returns a dictionary with the key value and the updated rotate view state as the corresponding value. I then mapped the output to a view state. And as well, the view state, you have to have a default value. So it basically will add 0.00180 to the view state every time it auto executes. And this is what causes the rotation. I then connected this view state to the horizontal section in the 3D chart. And it's as simple as that. I know that probably doesn't sound simple, but you can make your dashboards alive with dashboards. So basically, what I want you to take away with you today is layouts. Keep them structured. Keep them simple. Only show relevant information, and make sure they're clean. Consistent color schemes, button styles. These have to be consistent throughout all the dashboards. If there's even just one that's different, the user might think, oh, well, is this a dashboard I'm supposed to be using? Tooltips and clear labeling. Every time you add a widget, think to yourself, do I need to add a tooltip? Have I given enough information for the user to understand what to do? And fluidity. Regarding this is just, something that I want you, to play with. Think, oh, okay, can I make something alive here? Does this just have to be static? What can I do? And just go crazy with all the CSS you want.